Hunters, low rank is done, Nakarkos is slain, the help hinder system is coming, and I have put in over 50 quests as a Prowler. Welcome back, Classy Crew, to my 5th journal in my Monster Hunter GU journey to master every weapon and become Omni Hunter. Now, the more I see the franchise of Monster Hunter and the more that I'm appreciating all of the different weapons and their strengths and weaknesses, the more I'm looking at World and Rise and Wilds and being like, maybe I should become an Omni Hunter in those games. But we're not going to get to that right away. I got to become an Omni Hunter in one game. Now, I have absolutely zero desire to become an Omni Hunter in 3U, 4U, so for all the old world veteran fans, I just don't think I have the patience. Now, when I last left you, I was sharing a lot of progress updates on my weapons, how things have been going, and I've put in a considerable amount of time since the last time we've caught up. I've now finished low rank village, so we have entered high rank. I have finished low rank hub, so I have fought the urgent, which is Nakarkos. And I was out camping at one point and I brought Monster Hunter Generations with me. I didn't want to progress anything meaningful like my weapons off stream, so I ended up using the Prowler and I played 10 hours while away. So I did all these quests in Prowler mode not to upset the balance of my stats with my weapons. And I ended up clearing, I think, like four stars worth of quests in low rank, which is fantastic because this gave me so much materials that now when I'm looking to craft a weapon, for the most part, I've got like all of the fluff things. What I'm missing now is pretty much the monster parts, but the ores, the bugs, all that thing that comes from gathering, I got a lot of it. So I'm pretty set right now. And in terms of this journal, we're starting with insect glaive. We're going through all the range stuff. And I think I finished in hunting horn. So I have to say, I'm at a point where I am understanding and feeling comfortable with how does the weapon work. Now, executing said combo and said weapon is a whole different story. I am definitely not great with these weapons, but I know how to use them enough to feel comfortable picking up the weapon and being like, I know how to do damage with these things, which is exactly why I had held off introducing this help and hinder system on my streams until high rank. But now that we're entering high rank, I'm going to be introducing help and hinder system, which means the chat can donate cringe coins, which is the little bit stuff that you see on Twitch that you get for just watching the stream, to either help me or hinder me. Now, hindering can be anything from switch out your weapon to like a weapon we know you don't like, or you can't take potions with you, or you have to do this naked. There's going to be a list of menu items of what you can help and hinder. The help is like the white mage. You can cast like a spell and be like, nobody can hinder Jay on this hunt, which is, you know, help me out here. And we're going to do this throughout high rank. There's also going to be a wheel of pain with some really terrifying things on there that nobody can pick, but you can only spin the wheel and you may be guaranteed to do something bad for me, like eating for a bad skill or going in a hunt drunk. All these things are in game, not player based. So now let me update you on what I've learned, where I'm at, and how things are progressing. Insect glaive. So unfortunately, my insect glaive bug is still too slow because I did my insect glaive stream before I went out on my camping trip to get all of my materials. The good news is the next time I play insect glaive, my bug is probably going to be fast enough because I have accumulated so much speed jelly. So I am going to shove all the speed jelly into this bug so he can run around like crazy, because one of my biggest complaints with insect glaive is my bug is so slow. I'm like, go bug, and he's all like, am I doing it? It's slow, but I have finally understood properly the insect glaive combo, which is basically, you know, find your spots to harvest the essence, get your 3 colors, go into combo mode, spin all over the monster, and then when you run out of your essence, repeat. I have now crafted the Great Macau Insect Glaive, which gives me 130 raw damage. At this point in the game, I'm pretty much ensuring all of my raw damage is pretty much as high as it can be for low rank, and what a difference it's made. My hunts are all now, like, if I'm being pretty conservative, I would say the 15-minute mark, which is where I feel I should be considering what I'm doing. I've also learned about this thing that I kept accidentally doing with the insect glaive, which is like marking the monster. It almost looks like you're dropping a stink bomb on it. So that is like marking it with some kind of pheromone, I think, so that the bug always goes and eats out of there, which I think I used intentionally once. Outside of that, I don't really like using it. And for the most part, insect glaive in this game, I understand the loop. Not a big fan of it. I really find it a little tedious that I have to constantly be extracting like the colors so that my weapon can do the moves I want it to do with. But it's not an obstacle I can't overcome. It's just a little tedious for my play style, but at least I understand it now. Also with Insect Glaive, I'm sticking to pretty much aerial because why not? We're always up in the air. Let me be in the air longer with the aerial style. After this, we go into light bowgun. Light bowgun, there's probably been the most work that's been done in terms of my skill. And I've also crafted an entire new armor set. So we've crafted the Senator armor because I was using some really weak armor. So I've got some proper armor. I got a skull mask on, which I think that gives you torso up or torso, it doubles your torso skill. And now I've got ammo saver and critical eye. So I basically traded some defense skills for a little bit more offensive skills and just some little comfort skills. Like I'm not always using my ammo on every shot now. I've been playing light bowgun in Valor, which was really it was kind of hard to learn and understand. So basically in Valor, like you got a sheath which reloads your gun, and at a certain part you have to hit a button to like make sure the reload happens. And you're pretty much focusing on building up your Valor gauge, as is Valor style. And then once Valor once your Valor gauge is unlocked, that's when you pretty much unlock rapid fire, and then you just gotta dump like some ammo on the monster and rinse and repeat without getting hit. Range is just not my thing either, but the fact that I'm learning a little bit more on how to do these hunts is going to be essential for me to check off that box that I know how to use this weapon against Bloodbath Diablos. So I fought a bunch of Senators because I needed to harvest for the armor. And now at least I look good and I have the light bowgun. Funny story about the armor. So at one point, as I'm building it, people are like, oh, get the mask as torso if it's going to give you a skill. I'm like, okay. And there's two masks, like the skull mask. One is called a mask, one's called like a visage or something. I was like, what's the difference? And one clearly had more defense than the other. I suspected that it was, one is the melee version, one is the gunner version, but it looks the same. Everything's pretty much the same except for that defensive difference. And the whole chat, which are pretty much veteran players, were all going, I don't know. Just get the one with higher defense. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? That why would Capcom put two masks that are the same? There's got to be a reason. They're like, nah. So I grab it and I go to equip it, and it goes, of course it goes, you cannot equip this because you are a gunner. And I just bought the melee mask. And then the whole chat's like, oh, whoops, there's the reason. I was like, oh my goodness. I was about to freak out because I'd used some parts that I didn't have a lot of to do this. So I was upset, but then they're like, oh, wait, the game like saved after your hunt, just reboot. It was fine. And that's what we did. We rebooted. I rebuilt all of my armor, got the right mask. In that process, accidentally built a second gauntlet for Senator. So I wasted some parts. Could have resaved, but at this point I was too impatient. I'm like, whatever, let's just go. So, hey, even what's the expression? Even monkeys fall from trees. Well, even hunters make dumb suggestions. After that, went into the heavy bowgun. Once again, Valor, very similar play style. This time I crafted the Meteor Bazooka, which has 120 raw. I know I'm missing out on the main guns. Like, there's this whole other aspect of crafting a gun that's important, which is what kind of ammo does it support? And it is like so complex because you could look at a gun and be like, that's cool, that's got good raw damage, but then like the heavy bowgun, you have to look at the reload speed. You have to look at, does the wind impact, like does it like lean to the right when it shoots? Does it lean to the left? Does it support the ammo types you like to use? It's just a lot for this newbie hunter to process. Now I went into a Nakarkos fight because I think I needed Nakarkos parts to finish crafting something, and I for some reason just went aerial because I was like, what is an aerial gun play style? And I was expecting like you go up and you go like choo 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 as you're up in the air. No, it's you jump, pew. You only get one pew, and then if you don't want to pew, you can bash it with the gun. So that's what I was doing on Nakarkos. I was jumping up on it, I was smacking it. It was a really unsatisfying fight. It was a struggle. And I didn't even get to kill Nakarkos. I was looking for it because it ran away. And I was about to I was exploring the map trying to find it. And out of nowhere, the victory music goes off. I was like, what the heck just happened? Like just suddenly, do. And I was like, oh no, the stupid Narkarkos on the map must have killed it. And I'm just trying to run back to the nest because it's on the Monster Hunter 1 map. And so I suspected it died in the cave. I was 2 locations over, so I'm booking it, trying to get back to the cave. Run into the cave. Of course, the Najarala is dead. The Narkarkos is all smug walking out of there. I start carving. I get 1 carve. The Narkarkos rams me. I was like, oh, you stupid bird. And then finally, I actually did get my 2 other carves, and then the like quest complete showed up. So it came in really close. Then I pretty much stuck to Valor. I did fight a Gormagala in Valor mode, and I had to learn how to use a gun in Valor mode. And it's a little bit different with the heavy bow gun. So once again, you are charging your Valor gauge, and once you have charged it, what you want to do is basically, after you roll, you can hold B to run. So you want to run to reposition yourself, go into siege mode, and then you just rapid fire. Well, siege mode is rapid fire, but apparently you want to rapid fire, and then if you get attacked, you roll out of it. Someone showed me a video of a veteran doing this on a Gormagala. It looks super slick. I'm like, okay, that's the goal. That's what I got to get to. I'm very far away from it. Then into our 3rd range weapon, which was the bow. At this point, I'm feeling quite comfortable with the bow. I've pretty much understood what I need to do in terms of like, okay, you charge, you walk, you gotta be at a certain distance, you shoot, you go pew pew, you hold pew pew pew, rinse and repeat. It feels decently good. I built the Rathian bow, which honestly may not be the best bow I should have done. It had really good raw damage at 140, but on the bow, you gotta look at the types of shots, and I think I have mostly pierce shots, which if I remember right means I have to pretty much be sniping the monsters. So it could be better. The raw is good, but the positioning is bad. So with my newfound confidence in my bow, after like hunting some monsters and being like, oh, bow is so easy, I was like, it's time to take on another deviant. Let's see what this is all about. And so I took on the Snow Baron Lagambi, which was the 2nd deviant I've ever tried. I was like, this is Lagambi. Lagambi's easy. Sure, they dial him up. It'll probably be a little harder, but I've got the bow. I can stick from far away and just shoot him. Boy, was I wrong again, because Snow Baron Lagambi is no joke. This bunny has speed and strength. He throws balls at you constantly made of ice. He's got the ice roller. He's got 2 like ice balls that he throws at you. He's got the ginormous world, like he throws a moon worth of snow on you. And then when he's not doing that, he's closing the gap by zipping and zooping. Zooping? I don't know. Zipping and zapping all over you. As someone with a bow, I was just like, where's he going? And I was dying because he was also hitting hard. It was like pretty much 2 to 3 hits, and I was like, my entire health was gone. So suffice to say, I didn't kill it, but I lasted 25 minutes, and that's something I'm pretty proud of. So I think I was more focused on how long can I survive with the Snow Baron Lagambi more so than can I kill it. So 25 minutes, honestly, pretty good for my 2nd deviant with an underpowered weapon and skill. After that, great sword. Again, sticking with my Lara Saber, I didn't upgrade it or anything. I did use Aerial to just have fun with the Zinogre, and it was a pretty fun time. I was surprised at how easy it was to fight Zinogre with a great sword just by like bonking him, just jumping and hitting him. Something really weird happened in this fight where he jumped to the other map, and I looked in the sky, and he's just like flying like Superman for a good solid like 10 seconds. It was so wacky and weird. Hopefully the editor can find it to show you guys. After this is when I went on camping, so I got my 10-hour Palico run. You can see all the check marks in my quest list. So this was good farming. I need to do this more. Oh, and a little side note on Palicos. Palico makes this game in easy mode. Like the fact that you don't have to worry about your items, the fact that you start all your hunts and you can see the monster on the map at any given time, the fact that you have pretty much, for some reason, the monsters were melting to my Palico. Like my moves were just destroying monsters. Everything felt so easy. It was kind of ridiculous at just how easy everything was with a Prowler. So coming back from camping, got into longsword, was using Valor again, upgraded my Mufa staff, so I went from 80 to 110 raw. With the longsword, I went after Alaga Cruz, Braki, and a Shagaru Magala. The first 2 were a decent struggle because I'm still like trying to figure out how to use longsword. But the Shagaru Magala, oh, this came together good. Like I was really able to build my Valor gauge, build my Spirit gauge. I was able to parry Gormagala, which I hope you guys can see the clip because it looks so good. And I was just up in his face and just swishing and whatever. It's not swishing and swaxing. And it felt good. Like, this was probably the best longsword has felt for me in GU so far. And I think it's just probably that it was a good matchup with Shagaru because he's so aggressive. He's constantly in you. So I'm just like, deny, parry, then swoosh. And felt so good. And then coming off of that, went to the next great weapon, another weapon that started to go into my comfort zone, which is the sword and shield. That needed an upgrade. So I crafted the Jin sword and shield with 130 raw. And this came because this is the sword that I've been primarily using in endgame Monster Hunter stories. So I recognized that. I was like, oh, the Rathalos sword and shield. I want to use this. It's so good. So yeah, we're turning the page. That's how many notes I got. So we got Sword and Shield. I went back into Adept mode, which I had tried before, and I think no, maybe it wasn't. Anyways, with the Sword and Shield, I had unlocked high rank at this point. So I did my first high rank hunt, which was Kongalala. Took 15 minutes, which I'm like, hey, this is a good sign. Like if I'm just entering high rank and I'm killing the monster at a decent time, we're doing pretty good here. And then I also unlocked the new hub for, well, it's not really a hub, but like the new area for high rank, which is an airship. That's freaking awesome. And the music to this zone feels amazing. Like, it sounds like graduation music. So I'm really like amped up. Way better than Burna Village. Burna Village is like very campy, very chill. But now like on this, whatever it's called, the ship of whatever. And then I ended my Sword and Shield run by taking on the Fated Four in an arena, which was a challenge the chat threw down. And what a fun fight this was. This one, I definitely used Valor on the Sword and Shield, and it came together so good, especially with Astalos, where I was like back flipping and like shoo, 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 and just dancing all around the monster. It just felt really good, and it became very hard at the end with the Glavenus because fire weapon against Glavenus wasn't as effective. But within 30 minutes, I slayed all 4 Fated Four, and that was such a thrilling hunt. Really had a good time. And I think in a previous journal I said I did not like the backflip of the Sword and Shield. Now I like it because I understand it has iframes, I know how to use it. It helps you reposition, helps you get out of the way. It just felt really good. For Dual Blade, I can't talk too much about it. I did a bunch of multiplayer hunts because now I was grinding the low rank hub to unlock our friend Nakarkos, which I took him on with the hammer, but before we get into that, I had to upgrade my hammer, so I decided to build the Astalos hammer. I've been trying to learn Valor and hammer. Valor is kind of becoming the theme here of how I enjoy playing. This one with Valor, I don't like, so I've learned with hammer, you got the hit once, hit twice, golf swing, and you're out. With the Valor, you lose the golf swing. You get the golf swing when you're like when you're sheathing and you hit the attack button. But if you just hit like X or whatever the main attack button is, you only get 2 bunks. So I had to rethink how to bunk. I have to charge more now because now the charge is a combo. So I had to rethink that. Killed Steve, Glavenus with it. And then Nakarkos. Was not expecting a whole new monster at this point. Looked cool. I remember like vaguely, I was like, are there Hydras in Monster Hunter? And someone had mentioned this monster. Totally forgot it was in GU. Was really like pleasantly surprised we had a double-headed monster. But also by the time I finished the hunt, I was like, this was a little underwhelming. Like, it was a bit of a letdown. It was very atmospheric. The arena was very cool. The fact that you could target each head individually was interesting, and they shifted and the body attack. But overall, I didn't feel very threatened by this monster. I felt like I had fallen at its home. It's just kind of wandering around, like looking for something in the kitchen as I'm bonking it. And I think there just wasn't enough tension. There was like this blue goop that he would constantly shoot, which if I got hit by it, like all the bones on the ground stuck to me, which I'm like, okay, thematically that's kind of all right. But otherwise, yeah, this Nakarkos, like I killed it and it wasn't like, yeah, it was like, all right, let's move on. What's next? I think I have to say Nakarkos was a bit of a disappointment. I'm sorry to say. I don't know if there's any lovers of this 2-headed bone dragon. Cool in concept, just didn't quite make it in execution. And then to wrap it all up, went over into Hunting Horn, and here I'm starting to like go out on my own and stop asking chat for like. This is when I really believe that you make mistakes you learn by making mistakes. As I get more comfortable with something, I don't ask chat. I was just like, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to do this. I was like, Hunting Horn. I need a craft a new horn. Oh, here's one with good raw damage. I'm going to craft it. And I crafted the Cornupian, which is, you know, a cool looking hunting horn. But I've learned the raw damage doesn't matter. You got to look at the song list. And I crafted something with the worst song list. None of the songs on here I wanted to play except for self-improvement. And so everybody was like, whoa, my God, he crafted the worst horn, blah, blah, blah. However, so I've learned, well, this taught me it's important to look at the song list before crafting. Second, when I went hunting with it, because I wasn't worried about playing songs, I actually was able to focus more on the moves of the hunting horn. And I basically learned how simple it was. The hunting horn is a very simple weapon when you don't have to worry about the songs. So I got really more comfortable with how the movement of the hunting horn works without having to worry about playing the music. And so I fought the high rank Great Macau, the high rank Celtis. I'm just like, okay, I know how to like maneuver and bonk with the hunting horn. This feels good. And then after that, I asked the chat, I'm like, okay, which hunting horn should I build? And they're all like, get the Arzuros hunting horn. It evolves into the Tigrex one, and that one's going to carry you till the end of high rank. So I'm like, all right. So I got the Arzuros one. It's leveled up to like 130 raw or something. This one has a lot more like attack up songs and stuff like that. And yeah, I forgot what I killed with it, but I went out and hunted with it, and it did feel good. So now I'm over in Lance territory, so we're going to do the Lance, the Gun Lance, and I forget what's after that. And we're just going to keep going. Now we're plowing through high rank. Chat is more motivated than ever to stop my progress. We're going to do this through high rank. I can't promise I'm going to keep the hinder system in G rank, because G rank is enough of a hinder system. But we're going to have some fun, and this is just going to push me to be better and continue plowing through GU so that hopefully I can finish this pledge before wilds drop. So I'll see you on the next journal or on the stream if you want to help hinder me. And until next time, keep it classy.